Hey, Escape Punk Lefty back with another video. Otherwise, you can just call me James. I'm cool with either one. And today we are going to make fun of, that's from the previous video. We're going to make fun of this guy named Sunrise Hoodie. Sunrise Hoodie, ironically, is somebody who I used to watch back when I used to be in my little right wing incel phase, and I used to watch his videos. And this dude has the weirdest fucking voice. And as now looking back at it, as a socialist, like a Christian leftist, and what have you, so a man that's married, against the odds of everything that these people said and preached. It is just it's immaculate the fact that I would be stupid enough at one point in my life to listen to this dumb motherfucker. The video that I brought up earlier that I wanted to watch, because I don't think this guy even makes concurrent videos anymore, is this video about quote unquote bad boys and how bad boys will win and all this other shit. And notice, of course, there is a black person and nicking, black people on the fucking thumbnail, because this guy's also turned out to be a fucking racist. And before we get started in this video, and of course because this is a video about the topic of dating and being in relationships, we will talk about a little dating advice. I will never start a pro-feminism video, without any dating advice. It won't happen. I'm always gonna come up with some type of dating advice. Let me see where I'm at on camera. Make sure I'm not too close or some shit like that. But yeah, I would never start. I'm perfect. But I would never start a dating advice video without first giving you some actual dating advice. So first of all, the myth about nice guys and bad boys is just but a myth. I don't think myth is a word, because a myth can be cute, like the moon landing being fake or something like that. But it's just a blatant fucking lie that people say to play to people's insecurities and get you back to watching their videos and get you to get you to thrive and seethe in your insecurity and never improve yourself as a man. And I don't mean that from some libertarian hustle hard through the darkness bullshit. I mean, they don't want you to learn how the world really works and think that the world is rigged against you when it's really not. But if the world is rigged against you in any way, it's because of capitalism, patriarchy, and other social structures, not because of you seen a guy that's a piece of shit with a decent looking woman. First of all, I would like to say, when it comes to this shit, and I might have to cover this stuff again as the video goes on, but I want to keep people's attention, so dating advice first, is that don't just be a nice guy, be a good man. And by that I mean, number one, of course, take care of your hygiene. Two, drop this right-wing bullshit, whether it's black pill or red pill shit, because women can see that stuff from a mile away. Even the most apolitical women can see and sense the things that you're doing, the weird manipulative bullshit that these guys teach you, and they will walk away from you and not really give you the time of day. And at the end of the day, it'll be sort of kind of your fault. And three is that don't blame every single woman for the bad experiences that you experienced from one or two women, because trust me, as somebody that's married now, because like I said, I'm married now. Married. Married. I'm married. And back in high school, I used to get talked about every day. I was poor, and I was also a black kid that was different from everybody. Not to say that I was completely just out and I didn't have anything, but I didn't wear the best clothes, didn't always have the best hygiene, didn't always do my hair. And I was also very geeky and into action figures, toys, video games. I watched a lot of anime, and of course watched a lot of cartoons and cartoon movies, and of course live action cartoons. So I was completely a nerdy guy. Now I'm married to a very attractive woman, and how I did it was, number one, a lot of people blame their bad, because okay, you cannot blame your experiences, especially in high school or even early college, on all women that you will meet in the future. Even though you might be in some pain, you got to keep an open mind and move on and be able to open up to talk to other women. That's number one. Two, I would also say, make sure watch out for the women you're talking to, because a lot of these women that wind up with so-called bad boys and stuff like that are not good women to begin with, and often not even necessarily that they're good or bad women, because there's a lot of women who are sex workers. There are a lot of women who live their lives based on their looks and who will or won't take care of them. And a lot of the men that they wind up with wind up being shitty people. But that's not because all women are like this. It's just because those women are like this. Let me give you an example. Like my wife now, says she's, of course she has, female friends and stuff that work in sex work, work at the strip club. And often at the time, men will come to the strip club trying to take, you know, the strippers, who are sex workers, home, talking about, I can take you away from this. And then these people would sometimes have to get thrown out by the bouncer because they would get mad and be sort of like, oh, you bitches, the only thing y'all want is money. Y'all don't care about nobody. Y'all don't care about me. And, and they'll throw an entire fucking fit because a woman didn't really want anything to do with them. And I found, that story should be insightful that a lot of men wind up with bad women not because women are bad people or some shit, but because a lot of men target terrible women, and then when again, like, it doesn't work out, not even saying that these women are terrible, because I don't want to phrase it like that. Like, these men target, women that are sex workers, women that live off their looks. And then when it doesn't work out, this woman winds up being, really dry, doesn't really care about you, doesn't feel fulfilling, and or, doesn't want anything to do with you to begin with. I feel like a lot of men get mad and then be like oh, women only want rich people and bad boys. But it's like, no. You have to watch the women that you are picking to give your time to. Talk to a woman that's in the same socioeconomic bracket as you are, or of course lower. Don't go around talking to women who already make more money than you, doing, sex work, or or they marry into, or women, because like I said, because they would tell you to begin with, and you'll know them when you see them. Like for me, for instance, like even though I went through everything I went through in high school and early college and even like late middle school when I hit puberty, I never was the type of man that walked around like, okay, I'm gonna go talk to a woman that clearly likes a certain type of guy and doesn't want nothing to do with me. What made things get better for me is that I actually started getting out here, talking to more down to earth women that I had more in common with. And I did not continue the cycle of talking and communicating with women that didn't want anything to do with me. And that will fix your so-called nice guy complex, along with a lot of other shit, like number one, stop trying to have an adversarial relationship with women. Two, women are not tokens and prizes. They're people. They're human beings. You add value to their life, and they add value to yours. They're people with thoughts, experiences, and emotions, just like any man. So stop listening to these podcasters and shit telling you that women are like unfeeling gold diggers. It's about the women that you target, and it's about your attitude. If you want a decent woman, I'm not even saying become a leftist, but drop that right wing bullshit where y'all sit on these podcasts talking about how women ain't shit. And I guess with that said, let's get started with this video.
Boy will win. I'm telling you right now, he's gonna win. Resistance is futile. But
how is, like, you see how, like, this video, I'm just amazed that this video started off like as like two people, like, him just like saying it and breathing into your insecurity, like some, yes, he's gonna win, he's gonna fuck the girl that you like, he's gonna take her away from you, instead of telling you like some, okay, this girl might not be with you and might want this guy, but that doesn't mean you have to quit and give up. There's other women out there to talk to. So if you had, like, I want to say, because I would say it like this. I don't think it's sexist to phrase it like this. Hopefully not. I view, introducing yourself to, women is, a build up. It's a process of getting to know one another and seeing, will she give you a chance? And if it turns out that this woman is interested in or seeing somebody else, it hurts, it sucks, but the only thing you can do is move on and start again with a different person. Do not, be angry. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be a little frustrated. It's completely understandable. Every man has had a woman that they like, but it didn't work out the way that they wanted it to. So the best thing you can do is just leave her alone. You know, you be a man about it. You be an actual good man. You support her in a relationship. You say, okay, you're with this guy now. I hope you have a nice relationship. And then you move on and you find other women to talk and communicate with. Do not spend your life building on and trying to court this one woman, because you're breeding toxicity among yourself, and then you get an attitude, you know, of insecurity towards all women, when the only thing you had to do at the end of the day is move on and talk to somebody different.
This is not necessarily a bad thing. It is a good thing, a liberating thing if you realize it and embrace it. And if she has let the bad boy loose and is coming for you, check yourself before you wreck yourself, because it's usually not for the reasons you think that she is coming for you. So today's video was
more insecurities, like, oh, she's coming for you for emotional support, she's coming to you for money and what have you. And I gotta say, when it comes to things like this rarely fucking happens. Most women, like, number one, a lot of these type of women that do shit like that, a lot of people that watch this video, you're not friends with any women that are gonna do that shit to you. Be honest with yourself. I know it sucks and it feels good to feel like you're gonna be the victim of some grand conspiracy to force you to take care of somebody else's child, but 90% of y'all motherfuckers have never been in a situation like this. If the 10% of men that have been, you know, my condolences. But most people have not been in a situation where, like, some girl you like went to go get pregnant and then came back to you later. Again, fueling up insecurities. And I know I paused it at 8 seconds and then only 20 seconds later at 28 seconds. And again, that's because these far-right videos often are jam-packed with bullshit propaganda. And it's very difficult to try to stop and debunk everything. And I guess, again, I'm going to try to let it play. But Jesus fucking Christ, excuse me, Jesus, for using your name and cursing. But this guy is really trying extremely hard to play on people's, like, fucking insecurities, man. Insecurities, like I said, most of the people that are watching this video, you know, have never experienced. They've never experienced this shit. You've never experienced, you know, some woman doing this shit to you. The most that'll probably happen is that, okay, so maybe you're some nerdy kid with, like, some, like, dirty clothes you wear to school, and a nice cheerleader you like didn't like you. Good, congratulations, you're 16, 17 years old. There's plenty of time to clean yourself up. There's plenty of time to become a better man. There's plenty of time to open up your mind, and there's plenty of time to leave the shit behind you and actually find the woman that's right for you. Or you can spend the rest of your days being a fucking victim. Yeah, I sound like a conservative right now. Saying that, oh, women are just trying to use me. Women are just trying to take advantage of me. While the world moves on from you.
Was inspired by a headline that came up in July, and I'm just now getting to it, and I've been wanting to get to it. So Jeremy Meeks, who, if you don't know by name, you certainly know by mugshot, how flattering, has just filed for divorce from his wife Melissa Meeks of 8 years. Funny how this is the second Melissa that I've referenced in my videos and has been on the other end of a divorce. Melissa's You Better Learn. So the world-renowned hashtag Thug Hottie, or Mr. $1 Million Mugshot as I coined him, was caught making out with Chloe Green during one of his photo shoot trips overseas recently for his modeling career, and word got back to Melissa, thus ending their relationship. Jeremy cites irreconcilable differences as the reason for the breakup, but when you look at something like this, you never know.
Does this really apply to your life in any way? Like I said, I'm trying hard not to part, but this story about some rich jackass, you know, taking advantage of his woman and being an opportunist to cheat, how does that apply to your life in any way, shape, or form? And just because it's like, I guess at the end of the day, don't be this guy. Like, I guess that's the best advice I can give, you know, coming up over that. Like, because this shit because, like, you know, they're putting in issues and things that happen in the world. Even though I know this video is 6 years old, but these things have nothing. They have nothing to do with the things that are going on in your life. Nothing at all. Some jackass cheating on his wife. some jackass divorcing his wife or using her for this, that, and the other, or the other way around. Some woman, chasing after money. This shit has nothing to do with you or your problems. The problems that you experience and the problems that you have when it comes to dating have nothing to do with the things that these people are doing. Not to say these aren't social problems caused by things like isolation caused by capitalism. Maybe your diet's poor because you live in a food desert. Maybe there's not a lot of places to meet people. Maybe you're not good at having conversations with people and stuff. You might have like a disability like autism or or anxiety or any number of things that could happen. Or maybe you're just like bullied for a while like I was in high school, and you just need a few years to yourself to get your mind straight and get back in there. The shit that these people do, this dumb shit, has nothing to do with you. And I don't understand, I understand why, because it's to phone people up into a frenzy of anger about how, the women want to take back the bad guy, but never wants the good guy. It's to phone people up into a frenzy, but I'm just I'm low key amazed at the shameless grifting that's going on right now. Because like I said, this shit does not apply to you. This shit has nothing to do with you. Nothing at all. And I don't understand, and it's like, I know I've had it on pause for a minute now, but I just don't get it. Why was this brought up? Why? And like I said, and it's like I'm answering my own questions over and over. It's to play to people insecurities about, seeing, men who ain't shit cheat on women and get women back and stuff. But this shit has nothing to do with you colloquially. Your problems and the things that you are going through can be solved in different social ways, and even sometimes economic, to be honest. This shit about, a celebrity cheated on his wife, so that represents what bad guys do. Shit don't have shit to do with you, man. Nothing at all.
If that's the case or not, you'll never know the whole story. You just can't. But you know what you need to know, boy. And this is what we need to know. And I'm going to deliver that to you guys in this video. So you're going to pick a fight. You're going to lose. One of my favorite quotes. And Tyler Durden uttered these words about it, fighting a total stranger in Fight Club, my favorite movie. But even if you're a 10 out of 10 quarterback, the dark-haired James Dean look, as Taylor Swift says, I'm saying you're still going to lose. You think you got the resume, you went to college, you got your bachelor's, you got the MD, it's spotless. But when it comes to attaining a woman against the resume of Jeremy Meeks, you have no shot. So let's look at this real quick. Let's look at his rap sheet. So in 2002, this guy, I think is 33 right now. So in 2002, he would have been...
I should skip this shit, bro. Nobody fucking cares, dude. Oh my fucking God. It's plenty... Look. I'm married and I got a clean record. I know that's anecdotal, but your rap sheet and the things that you've done wrong does not necessarily determine your value to every woman. Some women like criminals and people that do bad shit. Some women don't. Then again, criminality is only up to interpretation, because you never know how somebody was living or the things that they were going through that put them in a situation where they had to commit those crimes. But most of all is just that every single woman don't like this shit. And most women don't. Because the majority of women actually don't like people with criminal records, because women are actually afraid of some abusive shit happening to them. So this bullshit where you're talking about, let's listen to his rap sheet and somehow this guy got married and was able to make out with another woman. This is like hogwash bullshit, man. This does not matter. Why did I used to listen to this dumb shit, bro? We are literally 2 minutes into this, and this guy has yet to make a point that's actually relating to the video topic. When are we gonna get to the part where you try to argue how these type of guys actually wind up with women? Because they don't always wind up with women. They don't always. A lot of these dudes wind up in jail. They wind up dead. Some of these dudes clean their life up and turn it around. And if to the furthest extent, it seemed like this guy in most ways, and I'm not talking about the cheating shit, but if he had a criminal record back when he was younger and then later became a model, He cleaned his life up. So it's not a zero sum game about, oh, you just gotta go out there just carrying a gun and like robbing liquor stores and then women will want you all of a sudden, bro. This is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. Then again, socialization and conversations and stuff like that are often of the time much more complex and complicated than that. Then again, even on top of that, why the fuck would you want a woman that wants some guy that's like that? I'm gonna say the N word. But why would you want some woman that want a guy like that? You can go to a fucking college campus. You can go to a motherfucking library. You can go to a comic book store. You can fucking go to Walmart. You can get on fucking Hinge and find you a decent fucking woman to talk to. But you are you like telling people that they should actively chase after women who want bad people? Those subset of women don't represent all women. Like, this is so fucking pointless, dude, that we're literally gonna have to listen to this guy rap shit. What do you do?
Testing my math right here, about 18. Grand Theft Auto, so he's probably charged as an adult. 2005, identity theft. 2005 to 07, detained on 5 occasions. And in 2014, he rose to prominence, as it says, when he was arrested during an operation ran by Stockton, California police called Operation Ceasefire. What we can take away from this situation, there are 5 things that I've pinpointed from a male and female's perspective that we can look at. So this guy, basically, to give a brief background, he ended up signing 2 modeling contracts when he went into jail. Crazy, right? Into jail. This guy's a deadbeat, drops out at 15, gets 2 modeling contracts in jail, ends up marrying this chick in 2008. This is right.
Shut the fuck up. Especially when it comes to being a young black male, you don't know what his life experiences was that caused him to have to feel like he has to commit crimes to survive. Obviously, don't get me wrong, I have not lived the hardest life myself. Well, I guess I live decently hard versus this privileged bitch on this video talking right now. But what I will say is this, is that I live in Detroit, Michigan. A lot of the people that I went to school with wind up going to jail, wind up joining gangs, wind up, burnt the fuck out. A few people that I even went to school with are currently 6 feet under and rest their souls because they went way too soon before some of them even hit 20. My point being is that when it came to living around here in Detroit, Michigan, and you can even look up statistics to this, the drug war is drug war, redlining, and other, socioeconomic issues that are targeted against black people are still in full effect. Often at the time, a lot of young black men and also young black women, you dipshit black conservative motherfuckers. Yes, black women are mothers and sisters, so they're living in the same bad zones too. So don't be like that's a whole nother topic. But my point being is just that black men and black women and young black men and young black women, our children, are living off of the time, going to underfunded schools and redlined, over policed neighborhoods where it seems like the only opportunity to make something of yourself or is to go forward is through rap music, sports, or sex work. Or crime. So often at the time, a lot of young, impressionable people who are often at the time, because like the cycle of poverty, because I knew this one kid, like when I was growing up, right? So his mom was an addict. God bless them. I don't know if she's still alive or not. I'm not really sure. But I'm only telling this story, because this guy, I had issues with him growing up, and me and him got into a few confrontations because, I was like a black nerdy kid and he was like, a gangster and whatever. But looking back on it, this dude was hurting. His mom was an addict and he was going to school, not having a lot, not growing up with any support. His father was already a bad guy, in with the wrong people. So it only made sense that he would grow up and make the same mistakes and wind up, going to prison for 15 years. I think 15 years starting in about 2008 or something like that. I'm not sure if he's out or not. I don't really care. But the point being is that looking back on it and then reading the statistics from, Department of Justice and Department of, Economics, Department of Interior, and learning, about things like lead poisoning, redlining, but mostly redlining and the drug war we're talking about here, you can see why a lot of young black people wind up going to jail or turning to crime to make it when their parents are already victims of the drug war, and then they wind up growing up with nothing, with no emotional support, going to an underfunded school with teachers that could care less about how you feel, and you wind up turning to crime. So I don't like this characterization. It's just like in a police reform video I did previously where he just like saying that, oh, this black guy, this N-word, basically just gave up on life and suddenly he's just getting women. When the socioeconomic circumstances of why people turn to crime and may or may not have anything to do with their personality or, dating prowess are much more complicated than what this guy is trying to say. But I guess this is at the end of the day how a lot of MGTOW red pill people often become neo Nazis and white supremacists when they hear simple minded avocations of, bad boys, especially African American bad boys, sleeping around with different women and, when they quote unquote don't deserve to be with these women.
Okay, right after he gets detained on 5 occasions, so that's his 7th arrest, and he gets married. But I have 5 things I want to talk to you guys about today. And number 1, this is freedom. This actually means freedom for you guys. Like, I don't know if you see it how I see it, but to see this extreme treatment of a good-looking guy with the nice physical facial features, you don't even see the rest of his body. You just see the face. It's liberating to me. It's like, why even try? So there always is going to be a bad boy in the picture. I've had both my ex-girlfriends. They've both been about the bad guy, bad boy.
Listen to this shit, bro, where, like, number one, his experiences to your life don't matter. I'm talking backwards. I'm really investing in this video because this is really fucking dumb. But yeah, his experiences don't fucking matter in the grand scheme of things. Your experiences with the things that you went through in the grand scheme of things matter. And it's okay to falter, but always remember to pick yourself up and try again. Don't listen to this bullshit where he's like, don't even like try. Just give up on dating. Don't try to work. Don't try to make something of yourself because that's the game he's playing with you. Because if you try to actually improve yourself and become a better man, you wind up married. So you're no longer indoctrinated into his right wing red pill or black pill propaganda. And let alone you are not going to be on a fast track to becoming like a neo-Nazi or like little black conservative good boy. When you are actually improving yourself and becoming a better man, and you're actually becoming successful with women, and you actually try to do things to improve yourself, like you get a job, you start opening up to people, you take care of your hair, you start shaving, and you start going out in public more and going to more public events, and you get on dating apps and what have you, and like just try to have good conversations with people, you wind up losing your virginity. You're not watching Sunrise Hoodie anymore. So that's the game he's playing now. Like, oh, just like don't even try. Like, give up. I just want to tell you that you should give up. Back when I was I dated, and it's even like I'm married now, but technically my last relationship it didn't end well, but I kept going. Things suck. Some women might hurt you. Some women might do something stupid. But that don't mean you just give up.
I have been second place both times to the bad boy that they both dated in the past. And I've always been compared to them in more ways than one. And I'm perceived as boring. And, I take that personally. Like,
keep in mind that this has nothing to fucking do with you, and because he has shortcomings and may be perceived as boring by some following woman, it has nothing to do with your life and the things that you can do to improve yourself or to make your life better. And I just I just don't understand like why he's even why bother bringing this shit up. Like, why bother bringing it up, dude? You shouldn't, don't say anything. Like, you don't have nothing positive to add to the fucking conversation. You're not gonna try again. You want to sit on here and fucking, and don't get me wrong. I say talk about your problems. Like, if some woman hurt you or did some fucked up shit to you, it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to think about it. But don't live your whole life around your bad experiences because that shit holds you back. and you don't go nowhere except these fucking videos or his associated acts or future acts. Because I know this video is 6 years old, but like, you gotta get back in there. Talk about your problems. Be sad. Be distant for as much time as you need to. But you have to improve yourself, and you have to get back in there. And his experiences of some women thinking that he's boring does not have anything to do with you. And this guy is not a one-to-one comparison with the person that you are. Because you might think that you're boring, or you might be boring to some woman, but you might be, extravagant. Like, you might be like the most full of life motherfucker that some lucky woman has ever met. So it's not a zero-sum game where, like, oh, because I'm a right-wing, MGTOW, alpha male, black pill guy, women just, like, find me boring, so that's why you shouldn't try. Like, his shortcomings and whatever the fuck is going on in his life, and it's probably the propaganda that he listens to and promotes, has nothing to do with what's going on in your life. It might indirectly, but the shit that's going on with him, where he's perceived as being boring, where he was left by his partners, have nothing to do with you and your experiences.
Like, it hurts, man. But like, when you realize it and you get past it, you realize that you're better off. And I don't care if you live in a very gentrified part of town or an area where the quintessential bad boy doesn't exist. I kind of grew up in that town. There's still a ton of bad boys. Even if they're not deep down that way, they're going to try to pull off that look. And there are enough of us throughout each area of culture. They will lurk around. And you give 95 out of 100 girls the option to be with a bad boy, regardless of their morals and their background in dating, and I believe that they will go with them. And that will taint them. And the difference between what
citation needed,
what we see between the bad girls and the girls that may not have had a partner like Meeks, is that the girls that haven't, or the girls that are still good or untainted by them, they haven't been given the chance. They haven't been tempted.
What?
It's like not walking down.
So it's like not even like because it's like saying that even the women that are trying to live decent lives, who try to stay away from men with criminal records, and I guess we're talking a-racially now too. So it's like saying like, yeah, don't even try. By the way, even the women that say that they don't like guys who are criminals or people that have criminal records, they want like regular working class men, and then you would notice that I'm not gonna even go there. But no, I will go there. Fuck it. But how women will even date niggas who don't do anything, who don't commit crime, who have no income at all. But that's a whole nother conversation and topic for another video. But anyways, like again, this is like saying like, oh, don't even try to talk to any woman. All women want that bad guy at the end of the day. Don't even go outside and try. Like, that's so fucking pathetic, dude. And I don't mean pathetic from a point where I'm looking down on the viewers of this video because they're just all lost and lonely men. I'm looking down on this guy. This guy is a fucking moron, dude. How the fuck, like, and it's like I said, citation needed. Citation needed. Because how the fuck can you say what women want or don't want? Who the fuck are you? Like, you don't know every single woman. You don't know what every single woman wants or who every single woman is. And like I said, that's fucked up to say that even if a woman is putting in effort to be decent, she's bad anyways? What the fuck? What the literal flying fuck, bro? So that's like saying, don't even try at all. All women are bad and they're gonna try to some extent, take advantage of you. What a terrible fucking thing to say. And again, this is to keep you in a cycle of these dumbass videos.
The ice cream aisle at the grocery store and never having ice cream. But the reason you haven't had it is because you haven't been tempted yet. And then once you are tempted, you see another world. And it's kind of the same thing. And like I said in my video regarding...
Are you kidding me? I done had plenty of female friends and females that I've dated that have spoken of their experiences with people like this. Like, and I will say this. Because like I said, it's about the women that you decide to give your time. Like fucking Brenda the cheerleader or you know, or fucking and I hate to do this because I'm not being anti-black women. I'm just making an example, but like the fucking big booty girl that fucking developed early in your eighth grade classroom doesn't want you and shit. Does not mean you go the rest of your life smearing all women, saying that all women have the same standards. There are different kinds of women out here, and the women that you choose to give your time are gonna be the experiences, you know, that you're gonna parallel. So don't try to blame all women for the experiences that you had with these women. Not to say that cheerleaders or women who are you know, look a certain way at a certain age or something like that are bad, or you know, anybody's bad. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you should not blame all women for your bad previous experiences, because some woman in eighth grade didn't like you. Your woman in your college class didn't like you. This woman that you worked with didn't like you, and they went for somebody else who probably was the polar opposite of you. It's just because those women were looking for something different, and it's time for you to take the responsibility and also look for something different.
Social media addicts, you're not just competing against the tribe anymore. You're competing against billions of people thanks to social media. So for every attractive thing that you do for maybe your girlfriend, there's going to be 100,000 more bad boys that she can fantasize over on Instagram when you're gone at work. Okay?
Like I said, like these videos are all the fucking same. They're just insecurity factors. Like, dude, you know that for the most part, bro. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that women are like these perfect fucking angels in any demographic and they can't drift away from you. But for the most part, most women are loyal to their men. For the most part, with some exceptions, but like for the most part, most women are loyal to their men. And the only thing you gotta do is just be a good man to her, and she'll be a good woman to you. This bullshit where he's talking about some when you like I said, it's no security in a relationship. Like nothing's ever the fuck okay. It's always gotta be some type of insecurity. Like you know, when you're at work, she's fantasizing about sucking other people's dick, and it's like, dude. And I will say this about the human mind: no matter if you're in a relationship or not, everybody has thoughts about somebody else. But it's about if you act on those thoughts or not. And it's best not to think about shit like that, because the only thing that it does is makes you insecure in your relationship. And then you wind up cheating because you were like, oh, I saw this video. Then, you know, not just this video. You've seen several videos. You get in a relationship, and then you wind up being the person to fuck it up because you were insecure. So be careful.
Or when you're boring her, or when you got her roses again at work. There's going to be 100,000 more guys that she can fantasize over. So save your money and save your effort. Number two,
like, don't even try to surprise her with gifts or actually partake in one of like, you know, romanticizing her and keeping the relationship fresh. Let me tell you something, dude. Women don't give a fuck how many of trinkets that you give them. Of course it's about you, but women love that shit. When you get women not even expensive items like, you know, flowers, stuffed animals, little trinkets, you know, for their hair, little purses, you know, like $20 shirts or whatever. Women love that shit because they want to feel love. It's not about jewelry. It's not about just you gotta have enough money to buy her a car every week. Doing that shit, romanticizing a woman, is a nice way to keep your relationship fresh, keep it clean. You know, taking her on like surprise picnics and shit, or surprise dates places. It's a nice way to keep your relationship fresh. And if you want the fucking relationship, and you don't want to be like a fucking whiner talking about oh, she said I was boring, and she said that because like that's why women leave people, is because they're not putting in effort to make the relationship romantic. Not the other way around. And shit, when you are actually romanticizing your woman, she won't have no reason to think about nobody else, and vice versa. Like the woman, of course, should be romanticizing the man too. And as long as y'all are not proving to each other, but showing love to one another, That's all that fucking matters. This bullshit where it's like, well, you bought her flowers, but she was on Instagram looking at gay male models, so you should be like very insecure about that. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, man?
Women want the thing or guy that most women want. So compared to men, women are not inherently competitive in the same way that men are. Men are competitive in areas that involve like success or career success or financial success or even power that's associated. But women are not competitive to the level that men are.
Yes, they
but
are.
if you've ever noticed a girl fighting over another guy or a girl fighting over a more superior girl because of looks, which has to do with getting guys, bring in Mean Girls right now, you can see that the competition amongst girls in their search to be the one to bear the child of that guy that appears to be the alpha is just insane. That's when you get the world star hip hop fights, okay? That is what's behind this, all right? I guarantee it.
What the
And
fuck is
the
he
you see the
talking
most
about?
primal instincts to give birth.
Like, I'm hearing, like, this is fucking incoherent, bro. What the fuck are you talking about? Talking about some, you don't see, like, you went from talking about if our women are competitive in a corporate world, which the fuck they are. I said that like a fucking New Yorker. I said corporate. It's because it said corporate. Are competitive in the corporate world and stuff, which the fuck they are, to women are rarely competitive when it comes to men. So, what the fuck did he say? So women would rarely be competitive over a man, and this is why you would get world star hip hop fights, because a woman is there competing over a man, which happens sometimes. But again, this is completely removed from you personally, and you should not, like, you can safely disregard this shit, because the situations and lives that other people are living have nothing to directly do with you and your problems. And this dude trying to smear, these fucking bite-sized events where somewhere in fucking Los Angeles there were like two white girls fighting over a fucking football player, or somewhere in fucking Brooklyn there was like two like black girls fighting over some guy that got out of prison. That shit doesn't have nothing to do with you. He got me making shit up now. I can make shit up too. This shit has nothing to do with you, with your local problems that are going on in your mind and your life. Because some women are competing over some jackass. But at the same time, I thought you said women didn't compete, but now they are competing for somebody. They're actually in a fist fight on World Star Hip Hop. I feel like he's dog whistling like racism against black women, or black people, I should say. But just like, dude, what? What the fuck are you saying? It's fucking incoherent, bro. That's why I got on my phone. It's fucking boring. Hurry up.
And to attain status in society, based on that urge that giving birth to giving birth to the kids of these thugs pushes them to. So that's what's behind this. So
Well, there it is, thugs. So I'm guessing black.
When Melissa got married in 2008, she had to compete with a guy that was known in the community in Stockton, California, in Northern Cali, where the gang he was at was known. He was known by, that's his identity. Like, he had to compete amongst the girls there, but she didn't have to compete with the 100,000 likes, the 12,000 shares, and the 26,000 comments that ensued immediately after his mugshot was posted by the Stockton police on Facebook, some of which included marriage proposals and love emoticons, which is absurd. And so when they got married in 2008, she didn't have that. But unlike the time that he got his mugshot taken in 2014, she saw a little bit, things a little bit differently. And she might have seen the fact that he was known as a thug, but still people wanted him and desired him throughout the world. That increased her attraction to him. And it
was just because he was a quote unquote thug, you racist fuck. It wasn't because they built up an interpersonal relationship that you don't know anything the fuck about. It's just because he's a thug. God, you people can. Like, these people cannot fucking help themselves, bro. You fucking racist asshole. Just on the internet, just flagrantly fucking. It's not even a dog voice. It's fucking Foghorn. Thug, thug, thug. She couldn't help herself. Like, come on, dude. It's not about what he did, and it's not even necessarily about how he looks. But I guess looks can have something to do with it. But looks don't mean shit when a man and a woman meet each other if they don't have a good interpersonal relationship. So again, like this doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean shit in the grand scheme of things.
You think that would have been a red flag in 2014 for her to finally dump him and take her one biological kid from him and the two that she had previously with another guy? No, it was actually fuel to stay with him, because seeing that all those women fawn over him at the time, that would be the largest aphrodisiac that she could take, and she probably would do anything to keep him, to get him out of jail, which they did. They raised like over $5,000 within the first.
No interpersonal relationship. No, she's trying to keep a father in her child's life. No, she just doesn't want him to experience the injustices and the inhumanity of our correction system. It's just that no, because that will all stem from love. Which this guy apparently doesn't think exists. So none of that. Is just that she wanted to save a thug because he looked good. Alright, go off, David Duke, whatever.
12 days with just these frivolous hashtags. But now she saw herself at the top of the female totem pole. And obviously, then it hurt that he signed to 2 modeling contracts in jail, so he had the money coming in, was able to pay off that $1.1 million bail. So now that aphrodisiac pill was taken, and things changed a bit. So number 3 is the halo effect in relationships and dating. So let's look at Meek's picture. So if you pull that up, you can pretty much pull it up anywhere. It's going to be just riddled throughout the internet. Okay, his facial resume is what I call it. So because that's the only resume that he needed, that's it. Like, he didn't need a career resume. The dude dropped out of high school at 15. He probably never had a career-oriented job. If he did, it was manual labor, and if he'd had to work up at that, it would take forever. Probably.
Damn, what's wrong with manual labor jobs, dude? You sound like really fucking like bitch made right now, trying to dunk on people's lives that you don't know nothing the fuck about again. Trying to just say that this guy just gave up at 15 when you're not taking into consideration, especially if this guy's from California, he's from like Compton or South Central or what have you. You're not taking into account the environment that this young man grew up in. And you're basically trying to court the fact to say that he gave up on life so he was black, so this black woman just wanted this black thug. When you know that, well, you probably don't know because the person that made this video is a fucking moron. That is way more nuanced than this. Way more nuanced. So guess we continue.
He did a large amount of drugs and alcohol. Probably has killed the guy based on that teardrop tattoo or been involved in it.
How you know? He could have got that just for his modeling. And then modeling is an industry where you do not have to do anything but wear clothes and put things on. But I feel like this at the end of the day. In order to be a model, there are certain things that you're going to... And it's like, I don't even know what the requirements for being a model. Neither does this guy. But assuming since it's an entire multi-billion-dollar industry, being a model, there's many things and requirements that you need that or have to do. And off the top of my head, like, number 1, you got to stay in great shape. Number 2, you cannot hurt your face or body. Number 3, you have to know how to wear the outfits or model the clothing that you're given in a way that's pleasing to a wider audience. And 4, you have to have actual connections to get into the modeling industry. 5, you probably do have to build up from being a lower level model, like wearing clothes from a nobody, to be a international sensation, a person that's wearing things like let's say like Levi or what's another brand? I only know skateboarding brands, but it takes a lot to be a fucking model when it comes to clothing. And people don't just become models like overnight, whether we're talking male, female, or anybody in between. It takes actual skill. It takes a skill set in a certain body type and a certain look set, and it takes a lot of work to take care of yourself in order to be a model. So, and that's just the stuff I know off the top of my head. And then not to mention the fact that, dude, have you ever, because like for instance, my wife is a model. Have you ever taken pictures for a fucking model before? You know how much of a pain in the ass it is to get the pictures right for these people? And how many takes of the same fucking picture that they have to stand there and take? Whatever, man. Like, I don't like that shit. Where, like, and it's like, while we're talking careers, what the fuck do you do? You sit behind the fucking, not even behind the camera, but behind the fucking microphone, selling people white supremacy and insecurity. And you got the nerve to be talking about models or manual labor. I'm a fucking manual laborer. I'm doing fucking good. Go fuck yourself. Union strong.
All he had to do to get that dream job was be arrested and still be in somewhat good physical shape before that alcohol.
He got lucky. That's what happened there. He got lucky because he might not have gotten shit. This dude got lucky. If he didn't look the way that he did and the mugshot didn't go viral, he would be a fucking nobody. This guy got lucky. It's as simple as that. And again, this has nothing to do with your problems.
And the drugs took its toll. Because the dude probably wasn't putting in time at the gym. You know that, But this dude, if you go on the internet...
How do you know that? How the fuck do you know this person wasn't going to the gym? Were you like stalking him with cameras or something, man? Oh my god.
You look at his Instagram, like 99% of what he's doing is purely genetic, I'm guessing. Like, he's not jacked or anything, but the dude's, doing backflips and stuff. I kind of did some background. But just like the DUI chick that got out on bail, I don't know if you've heard about her, thanks to crowdfunding. You can look this up in Florida. She later received a modeling contract just because of her good looks. You get a DUI, you think my career's over. She later said that I would have never been able to have the...
got lucky, and often at a time, these are sensational stories, and these people probably today in 2023 are nobodies. They're fucking nobody, bro. And if they are, bro, that's their lives. Like, that shit doesn't have anything to do with the grand scheme of things of how some of these guys that you're talking to, they can't find that person that's special. This is not advice. This is bullshit and just lots of insecurity. Like, oh, the guy, he got a modeling contract and he didn't even like ask for it, and you see how hard things are. Like, what the fuck is this, bro? And it's like, yeah, like, if you're a regular guy, you have to like work a regular job. Fucking deal with it. I thought that motherfuckers like y'all was all about you gotta work, bro, see through the darkness and hustle hard and get through the night and don't let the deep state or the matrix stop you from working. You gotta love capitalism. What happened to all that? So now you mad because you gotta have a regular fucking job? Welcome to the fucking club.
Have the money to support my kids. If I didn't get this crazy, right? I didn't get this DUI, I wouldn't be where I'm at. Thanks, Mom, as I'm doing that interview.
He got lucky. Dude. He got lucky. He was put in a situation where he wound up turning an arrest record, getting arrested, into a modeling career. This does not happen very often. And I don't understand, like, because he has not made a point yet of, and I know the point that's implied, because like I said, as a former black pill incel, I know the point that's being implied here is like, look at this lazy degenerate. He didn't even try to do anything in life, and yet he's having women and money handed to him, and he doesn't deserve anything. That's what's being implied here, but this guy is too much of a pussy to say it, so I'll say it for him. And I will also say that this has nothing to do with the lives of the millions of people that watch this fucking video. It has nothing to do with you. This sensational story of some guy getting arrested, getting lucky, becoming a model or a woman has nothing to do with you and your problems. A lot of y'all that's watching shit like this can find women fairly easier, but it's about how you carry yourself and the women that you decide to talk to, not about some guy modeling and being a quote unquote a thug, racist prick, and then just getting a modeling career. Like, the fuck does this have to? This has nothing to do with you in the grand scheme of things, and this is just bullshit rage bait.
At the end of the Super Bowl, you know what? Meek's got a new lease on life that me and you and anyone else you meet on the street, they want it. And he's known as the hot felon, and this kind of brings into account the halo effect. So I don't know if you guys know what the halo effect is, but if you might have learned this in high school, or I learned it in college intro psych. It's when you have good-looking people that are perceived as more intelligent, they're more successful and more popular just because of their looks. You give a person a second chance or second notice. So when you boil this down to our biological instincts,
that's not what the fuck happened. You just said that it wasn't happening. He wasn't given a second chance because directly that he looked good, and then the police was just like, "Hey, man, you look good. Just like go home, bro. You look too good. You don't have to like do this jail stuff." He got a second lease on life because he was lucky enough that his picture went viral, and he was lucky enough to be picked up by a modeling firm. Like, this dude got raised out of fucking poverty thanks to a fucking mugshot. That's what happened. It wasn't because the world just like simped for him because he was good looking. If anything, the legal system doesn't give a fuck about how you look. If he didn't get that modeling contract and he didn't get bailed out of jail, this dude was fucked. And he just posted, I guess, a tweet or something saying that, he's appreciative for how things went. Because if things didn't go that way, he'd be in fucking jail. And again, it's indirectly his looks, but it's not, in the grand scheme of things, predictive of whether you can get in a relationship or not. Because that's the point that's being made by this video, is that, this lazy degenerate who didn't do anything with his life has had an opportunity handed to him, even though he got extremely lucky. It's not about it getting handed to him. He got lucky because he could be in prison right now, and that there's nothing you could do to improve yourself, so you might as well give up, because look at this lazy thug, racist bastard, who just got a modeling career and got married and had kids. And it's just like, whatever, bro. Like I said, it's so incoherent.
This is
I give myself a headache saying that.
The root of our being. We value whatever means we are more likely to survive by and thrive and pass on our genes. So that means good physical traits. So it also means that you're well fed, you're well off economically, you haven't been sick, most likely, too much, and you can hunt deer and run away from lions. So, if you need to. I
hope that was a joke.
We're going to reduce it to that level. And the chicks that donated to his cause and tagged their donations with the hashtag #HotFelon didn't actually realize what they were doing was being drawn to that. And that's all that they're doing. They're being drawn to the fact that they want to be impregnated, and if they know they were to be impregnated by him, then the likelihood of their child to be passed down.
Or they could feel bad that they saw a young black man going to jail, and his shit so happened to go viral because he looked decent and he was able to get out of jail. He got lucky, bro. That's all that fucking happens. And like I said, in the grand scheme of things, that, again, it's like I got to keep stating over and over again that the thing that happened for him has absolutely nothing to do with your life. And I just can't seem to understand why, over and fucking over again, we keep getting dragged back down to this same shit, bro. We keep getting dragged down to the same shit. Like, oh, these women want to be impregnated by him. They want to sleep with the hot, like, dude, it does not matter, bro. It does not matter in your life in the grand scheme of things and the way things work and the improvements that you can make to your life and the problems that you have. This story about this guy getting lucky enough to go viral and get bailed out of jail and get a modeling career has nothing to do with you and your problem. That's his life. This is yours. Improve your life. Improve the world in different ways. But don't let this guy keep, because like I said, he's using so much loaded language. This lazy felon nobody, because of his looks, women want to impregnate him. By the way, he's black, by the way, so, you got to throw thug in there. And it's just like, dude, in the grand scheme of things, this doesn't mean shit. And I'm not trying to say it like I'm I'm a collectivist. I'm not an individualist. But in the grand scheme of things, when it comes to dating and relationships, some of the problems can be socioeconomic, but often at the time for the guys that watch this video is personal problems that lead them to bad behaviors like anger management issues, bad hygiene, depression, isolation, and that depressive feeling of just giving up. That's why a lot of men watching this video have not found that special somebody, and it's not because society is so-called rigged up in some fucking way to make it so the quote-unquote good-looking thugs wind up finding all the women. Well, like I said, at the end of the day, it's up to you, the women that you decide to entertain and talk to. But that's a whole nother story that I've been over a million times. Because there's women out here that do like thugs and criminals. Don't go for women that like thugs and criminals. There's plenty of women out here that just want a normal fucking guy. And you cannot let this motherfucker load up your head to think that all women just want black thugs. Racist bitch. Let's keep going.
And to survive and to be healthy was high. The rate was higher, and that's all it is. And realizing this is liberating because as MGTOW, we don't want to be reduced to that thought. We want to be reduced to what can make ourselves the best that we can be and be in control of ourselves as free individuals.
So what are you going to do? Isolate yourself from blacks and your own fucking women, like half of the fucking population? You're just going to give up, sulk, and be angry? And it's like, don't get me wrong, dude. I understand that, and I guess I'm going to try to go a few more minutes with this video. But if I do have a closing statement on this MGTOW shit, bro, at the end of the day, if you feel like you need time away from dating, seeing and dating women, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's always good to have time to clear your head and get ready for the next challenges in life. And sometimes, trying to date can get in the way of other things that you're trying to do. And also, if you're sad, depressed, you dealt with a lot of bullying or isolation, thanks in part to women somewhat, I previously had in high school, it's okay to be alone, be by yourself, and do your own thing. But do not do it in a way that's adversarial against women. Because women have absolutely nothing to do or no knowledge of the things that you went /been through. So it's not right for you to try to blame them for your problems.
That is not something that is conscious. That is not a conscious thought to be drawn to a guy like that for that reason. So number 4, getting to the 4th of 5 right here, the soap opera effect is what I call it. So I think that a lot of women, even though they're graduating college and they're getting jobs now, I think that a lot of women still aren't leading lives that are exciting in their eyes. And you see social media taking the place.
That's thanks to capitalism making everybody more miserable as life gets more expensive, as it's more expensive to go to college, as it's more expensive to live on your own and by yourself, as we as an Americans, buy into this Reagan era individualist capitalist do-it-yourself bullshit, live more isolated and without family or partners to help you through life, everybody gets a little more depressive. Men and women. So this bullshit that, they try to push that, ever since women start working and going to college, they're more miserable. Everybody is fucking more miserable of every age demographic, of every gender, and even gay people. It's fucking like gay men who be fucking depressed because instead of fucking dancing at the fucking club every fucking day, they spend 8 hours at a place that don't give a fuck about them. So it's not about gender, it's not about race, it's not about sexuality. Everybody is more depressive. Everybody is more miserable these days as capitalism grinds us all down. So, don't believe this bullshit where they try to, they isolate all the other variables. Because, like I said, like male depression, they will weaponize it and it has gone up. But then they would say, like, oh, they would ignore the real reason why men and women or anybody else is feeling more depressed. And then they would bring it up in isolation that women are more depressed when the conversation should be men and women are more depressed thanks to isolation caused by capitalism, patriarchy, and this neoliberal mindset that we have in the Western world. And that fucking pains me, dude. I don't understand. Well, I understand why they do this because the implication of this is against the idea of women having jobs and individual income outside of men. Guys like this can't have that. So what they gotta do? They sell bullshit. They say that women are are more miserable, and then like I said, don't want to talk. And then they will talk about both male depression and men depression and women depression and isolation from one another, but won't talk about it together, and then talk about the actual reason why people are more depressed. Isolation brought on by our neoliberal mindset and our neoliberal economy. So I guess we'd keep going.
Place of that, and they confuse exciting for marriage equality. And guys, so if that guy's exciting, that means that it would be good marriage quality. So you meet a guy once at the bar, is exciting, you think it would equal good marriage quality. I've seen this many times.
No, you haven't. This shit doesn't work like that. You know what it really takes to get married, as I say, as a married man? For two people to get married with one another, it takes because I've been in relationships with women. And this woman I decided to get married to. It takes a true spark of passion, of I want to say togetherness, a spark of passion for one another. Very special circumstances for two people, especially in today's world and economy, to get married to one another. It takes very special circumstances for people to get married to one another. Women are not just meeting motherfuckers at bars and marrying them off the fucking street. And when was the last time you knew women to go to bars by? Because I used to go to bars before I got married. Women don't go to fucking bars by themselves and just fucking sit there and then wait for the first guy to sit next to them and buy them a drink so they can get married. Maybe the relationship starts there, but it's more to the story than just meeting some guy at the bar. Because you don't know what type of spark, information, or qualities this guy can have. And if they got married, it's none of your damn business. And if you want it to be your business, dig deeper to see why they had that relationship in the first place. And don't just be like, oh, women are just marrying douchebags at bars.
And that exciting guys can be married and converted into the man that they want, which is another lie, as long as she stays hot and sexually active with him just to keep him happy. Just as this is similar to just like the women that were sucked into tabloid magazines and the backward romance stories of soap operas all day. Women on social media get sucked into the fantasy of Jeremy Meeks as a contrast to the steady, consistent but perceived as boring and below average husband that they currently have. So this is merely stimulus, and it's no.
That shit is so stupid that you can't even coherently say it out loud your goddamn self, dude. So you're basically trying to say that women will find guys off the street who are quote unquote exciting forward slash bad guys and try to change them. Women usually most of the time don't do this shit. Most women love people for who they are to begin with, and if a woman is truly in love with you and this relationship is truly meant to work, they won't leave you. Two, what the fuck does being exciting have to do with being a thug or a criminal or a bad boy? You can be exciting in many different fucking ways. Like for instance, me. But and it's like, know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna talk about myself in this. Like, yes, I have a fucking motorcycle. I'm a skateboarder. I do parkour. I do political activism. I go to a lot of hardcore music shows. I fucking watch a lot of action movies and anime and superhero shit. And so, you can ask my wife one day if she comes on camera. It's very, very motherfucking exciting dating me. And our lives are full of adventure. Like we go to all type of malls and faraway places. We walk alongside the Detroit River. Have picnics and all manners of shit. Nature walks, all that shit. My wife and I have done in an abundance of things when it comes to our relationship and keeping it exciting. Being exciting is not about being a quote unquote bad boy or a thug, you racist fuckhead. It's about keeping your relationship fresh and experiencing life with each other. So most women, when they find somebody exciting, they find him exciting because who he is. Not because, oh, he's exciting now and maybe I can change him in the future. And maybe sometimes that does happen, but you simply decide what you want to do as a man. Do you want to change? Do you want to leave this woman and find somebody that's more for you? And it's as simple as that. Not this bullshit where, women just ignore all the boring, nice guys and then date the exciting guys and try to change them. Then it doesn't work. Then women wind up burnt out and now they want a boring, nice guy like you. But I'm a man that went my own way, so I don't need women anymore. So I dodged the bullet by sitting in a fucking room with my fucking fairy princess body pillow, jerking it to fucking cuckold point. Like, I dodged the bullet. Who needs women anyway? The fuck out of here, dude. Whatever.
No different than women that read romance novels, watch 50 Shades of Grey, or get entranced by the dreamy underwater welder, guitarist, BMX rider that she meets that one night at the bar that may not be any of those things at all, that also taught her pool. You know how that goes. So we don't.
This dude's a fucking idiot. So yeah, he said BMX rider, guitar player. So he's kind of sort of zooming in on like the alternative guys and shit. Is because let me tell you something. Why a lot of women have been going for like skaters, BMX riders, and alternative guys in general. The reason why alternative guys are more likely or left wing, especially far left or even liberal intermediate men who are like even apolitical, are in relationships, is and this goes for any demographic. I'm talking if you're white, I'm talking if you're black, Hispanic, you're Asian or Indian. The reason why guys like me wind up in relationship, because I don't got no criminal record, I have a union job, but like I am an alternative guy. It's because alternative guys are not often of the time, not saying always, indoctrinated with this right wing, women shouldn't work, I see through the darkness, I'm fighting the matrix, I am fighting the deep state, Joe Biden is the real racist, women actually have it easier than men, fucking listening to the Rape Doesn't Happen podcast, motherfuckers. Women don't want shit to do with people that are like that. So more left-leaning men and alternative men will often at the time find more success dating. And even apolitical men who don't talk about politics at all will find success dating, because women don't want no motherfucker that's always every 30 seconds talking about how women got a place to be in. Women don't want to be with no motherfucker who wants their life to be unfulfilling, who wants their life to be, ignorant, who wants their life to be, serving some guy who won't get off his ass and do something with his life. Serving some guy who doesn't value her as a partner, a equal partner, a equal fucking human being. No woman wants to be with nobody that you know, that does shit like this. And it's just like, and that's why you see so-called, you know, punks or hippies and hipsters or metalheads or, you know, skaters and all these other, like, you know, most often of the time far left and liberal men with women, is because women don't want no right-wing dipshit that's telling her that she has a place to stay in. No woman wants to hear that shit. It's not funny, it's not cute, it's not traditional, and it's not fulfilling to be in a relationship with somebody that's constantly all the fucking time angry because she wore some booty shorts in 90-degree weather, because she spoke to another guy at the bar, because she asked, do you want me to pay for it at the table at the restaurant, because she has a career, because she has an independent mindset about certain social and political topics. And that's why you see men, like, you know, that are in my demographic especially, being more successful. Because no woman wants no motherfucker. And it's not even about, you know, directly being a leftist. It's about not being a fucking misogynist. Because think about it. Think about the shit you listen to. Think about the shit you watch. Because that stuff that you watch and the things that you listen to also infer into your personality. Like, you would notice for me, even though I can be really hardcore, I'm very actually jovial, laid back. Like, you know, I'm comfortable with my manhood for who I am. And I don't go around trying to intimidate anybody because I'm comfortable with being who I am. And women find that attractive. Women don't find attractive some motherfucker who's wearing fucking dirty clothes with fucking, you know, nut stains on his fucking on the end part of his fucking hoodie that he's been wearing for fucking 3 weeks in the house watching anime and jerking it in. Then you come outside like, man, women just, like, you know, don't want me. I wonder the fuck why. And I hate to be that mean about it, but I'm being mean about it because I want you to wake the fuck up. Because women are not out of nowhere just getting with men who are, you know, thugs or losers or punks or, you know, hippies, hipsters, because women want and it's like, yeah, true that we are more exciting because we can, but it's like you can be exciting too. Like, introduce women to your hobbies, introduce women to things that you like to do, surprise a woman with things that you like. You can do the same thing, but you decide to regress into yourself, blame all women for your problems that you've probably experienced some legit grievances, you know, I give you, because I have. But again, I don't take that out on every single woman. Not only do I not take that out on every single woman, but I also have a fresh attitude every day, and I'm comfortable with my manhood into myself. And last but not least thing I would say about this right-wing bullshit that a lot of people believe, it's like, no woman doesn't want to be with nobody that can't function around, you know, people who are, like, you know, different. Because some women, regardless of how good they're bad or not, because you got women who are like church girls, who are friends with sex workers, who are friends with gay niggas, gay people. My bad. Try not to say the N word on this podcast. Even though I'm black YouTube. I can say it. But I think I'm black. Let me see. But seriously. But seriously. Oh man, I forgot where I was. That shit killed me. I was talking about yeah, like how women it's not a zero sum game. All I'm saying at the end of the day, because I forgot my thought process, is that it's not a zero sum game. You can try, improve your hygiene, improve your personality, be open minded. You know, and there's nothing wrong with, like I said, being alone and staying away from dating. But don't do it because it's a healthy thing that you need to do, not because you're doing it to be spiteful against women. Because they can sense that shit from a mile away.
have enough internal drive in us today to find value and interest in ourselves, and especially a lot of women, and thus we settle for the spouses we choose and end up fawning over people like Meek. So, men, work on yourselves is my message for you from this. So, number 5 is the riot response. So, this is kind of a phrase or a term that I used to refer to women when they're responding to some form of mistreatment against one of their girlfriends within their posse. And I've had this happen before. I've had girlfriends of my ex lash out at me for things and like mistreat even my items that I've had around.
Because if you think about the type of videos you make and the shit that you promote, you're probably mistreating the fuck out of that woman. And it's not like riot response, it's them being there for their friend against an abusive man.
As a result of how I've acted. And, you know, as long as that girl hasn't cheated on her with one of her girlfriends or done something slanderous to her, because there's very much an eye for an eye set of politics and then some in female circles, they're going to defend that girl. And so if you scale this back to when he got the mugshot, he had marriage requests coming in at him. And everybody, all the girls were like, oh, this is great. We're going to get together and have a slumber party and talk about this. Women were all over him. But if you do the one thing that truly defies girl code rules and calls women to each other, it's cheating on your wife or the girlfriend. And that's what happened here. So the same people that were all over him in 2014 are likely the ones calling him the biggest scumbag of earth today. And until you as a man do something against women at any point, you are flawless. That's why if you see the guy that stays to a distance, the mysterious man as they're called, the one that girls don't know much about but they think is dreamy, probably interesting and good in bed, that guy remains interesting and he remains attractive. It's like the Alfred Hitchcock effect. So the more that you leave to the imagination, the more scary something is going to be. And that, in this case, the more flawless and attractive. So Meeks was in a position where he could do no wrong.
I don't really know what to even say here. I guess I can start out by saying being a mysterious guy, you could just be a good looking guy who actually seems interesting, and women might want to talk to you, they might want to get to know you. But sadly, when women do like meet the quote unquote mysterious guy in the corner, please don't be a fucking right wing hack like this guy is, because they will fucking get away from you. And that's all I can really say there. I don't have nothing else to add. We almost done.
You know, he could get away with murder and probably did literally. So, but after the leak of the infidelity, his wife, a registered nurse, an attractive one, she like hashtags it, "Queens are born in July and it's my birthday month." Just for that, she gets 4,300 likes, about 1,300 comments, which is support mostly from women. And men may be supportive of other men if they see that one of their friends get in a situation.
The support can be cross-gendered too, because if one of my female friends told me that a man cheated on her, I would, colloquially respond that, hey, that guy's a piece of shit. I hope that you find somebody that actually values your time and attention. So, like, what is being said here, bro? Like, again, like I said, just a lot of buzzwords and one-off stories that make you mad about shit that does not apply to you.
Situation where their wife cheats on them, but it's not going to be in a public display like this. And the same women ultimately wishing to be his wife are now the ones ridiculing him, and there's no self-reflection, only lust. And it takes two to tango.
Because he did something bad. What do you mean there's no self-reflection? Oh my god. This video is so loaded with shit, bro.
My friends, she did an follow-up interview, read his resume, and requested a LinkedIn follow, and still married the felon. People will very rarely change when they get married. It's on her as well.
I'm done with this video. I can't do it anymore. I believe I said what I said when I at the beginning and all throughout this video. Number one, I will say, first and foremost, there's no such thing as a bad boy and a nice guy. If you actually want to actually attract women and wind up in a successful relationship, you have to be a good man. Which means the first thing that you can do is drop this right-wing propaganda bullshit talking about how women owe you something, or how how society is rigged against you. Don't take these one-up stories of somewhere, or even things that happen to you, of somebody who was kind of a bad guy winding up with a woman that was attracted, or that you was attracted to, and make sure that you're creating your own experiences in your own life. And also, I would say, make sure that you're targeting to the right women, because every single woman out here does not want a so-called bad boy, or whatever the fuck that means. It's women out here who just want somebody who's interesting, who treats them right, and takes care of themselves. And last but not least, make sure that it's okay to walk away from dating and stay away from women, but make sure that you're not creating an adversarial relationship with women, or blaming all women for all your problems and everything that's happened to you. And that comes from somebody who actually experienced a fair amount of bullying throughout high school, and who is now married. So that's been the Skate Punk Lefty with another video. You have a good rest of your day or night.